$12 and $3. That's what these brushes cost me. Is it really worth it? We'll talk about it and keep it home up. I used to work at a paint store, and at the paint store, in order to be out on the floor, you had to take all kinds of tests. So I had to take tests on applicators like brushes and rollers and things like that. So the things I'm sharing with you today are the things that I shared with the customers when I was out on the floor. So after I helped somebody pick out paint, the next question they would ask me is, what paintbrush should I get? Now they had a ton of options. Of course, you have these nice brushes like the Purdy, they're $12, or you have these cheap throwaway brushes, which are $3. Are they really that much better? Well, this is what I would tell people. Let's start with the bristles. The bristles on this Purdy brush are all different sizes and different lengths. They're also a lot softer. So because these bristles are a lot softer and different lengths, it's gonna give you a nice, smooth finish. So that is a huge plus for these. These bristles are a lot stiffer and the lengths are not as good. They are different lengths, but there's not as much of a variety in lengths as you get with the Purdy brush. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the binder that's used to hold the bristles to the brush. And that's a big deal. Purdy, they really make sure that the binder in these brushes are good and that the bristles are not going to come out as easily as something in this where it's just kind of thrown in the brush. And so after 2 or 3 uses, you're going to start seeing these bristles fall out of the brush. Maybe even after 1 use, if you're using it all day, you may even start to see those bristles fall out, and then you'll be picking them out of the paint. So this one's gonna last a lot longer, give you a smoother finish. The bristles aren't gonna come out on you like something like this would because of that binder that's holding it in. Next thing I wanna talk about is the handle. Now, it doesn't look like much, but the wood handle sure is a lot nicer to hold than something like this. And you really can't tell unless when you go to the store, pick it up, you'll notice the difference. It's a lot softer. It just feels a lot better than something like that. And maybe that doesn't matter to you, but there is a lot of good quality going into a Purdy brush like this. Let's talk about some of the uses. I would say use this brush if you're doing like in your living room or kitchen. You want to get those nice, smooth finishes. Okay? This is going to help you get that. These aren't going to be as smooth. You could use these, and if you just want to paint, if you're painting, especially oil-based paints, you're just going to throw them out. These are nice if you just want to do once and throw them away and not worry about cleaning up, then that's good. But if you're okay cleaning up and you're okay using a nice brush, these Purdys are pretty good. When I was working at the paint store, the city would buy a ton of these to clean up graffiti and stuff like that. Oh, you're doing one for yourself? There. Oh, wow. But not that kind of graffiti. Maybe this would work for that. Just put it in soap and water and clean out that graffiti on their face. I don't know. So they'd buy these in bulk and they'd pass them out to volunteers, and the volunteers would use it. They either did a paint stripper or they painted right over it, and this would work great for both of those. And that stripper can be kind of potent sometimes, and so you don't want to use a foam brush with it, so these would work great. I would not want to use this to go over graffiti or something like that. I would want to use this in a nicer area in my home, something I know people are going to be looking at, or I know that it's going to give that nice touch. One other thing I want to mention for the Purdys are the packages that they come in. So this one just comes with, in a plastic sleeve, it's taped on, you just pull it off and you throw that away, and you're done. The Purdys, they actually come in this cardboard cover so you can reuse it. It's got Velcro on there. So when you're done with your paintbrush and you clean it out, if you put it back in the original case like this, then it helps keep the form of the brush. So it's gonna last a lot longer. It'll help you keep that form and it'll help keep the brush a lot nicer. This one, because you don't have that, the bristles will start to fray out and it just won't look as good. I totally recommend the $12 brush. I think it's worth it. Do I think it's worth 4 times as much? I do. $12 is actually a pretty good price for a brush for these Purdys, so that's not too bad. They can get even higher than that. I've seen brushes that are a lot more than that. But this is a nice brush to have. This one, they're great too. It just depends on your use. When I was on the floor, I would explain the differences between the two, and people would decide, do they want that nice clean look or they want something they can just throw away? I had people pick both. So really it all depends on them and what they want. Now me, I'm gonna go with this, and I'm gonna keep it for years to come, and I'm okay cleaning up the paint. And you know, I also don't like to worry about the bristles falling in the paint. So hopefully this helped you out. If you want to see one of these in use, I used a 2.5-inch Purdy like this to do a ceiling fan in our master bedroom. So you can check that out on this channel. It'll also be somewhere on this screen so you can see it, and I'll stick it in the description. Thanks for watching.